My name is Deb Serrani. I'm the member resolution specialist here at the law firm. What that means is if you have any issue or a member has an issue with their benefits, with anything actually, and they need to address it, usually that comes to me and I'll chat with them, talk with you about the, the issue, and we'll see if we can get that solved for you. I have been with the law firm for 22 years. I have seen many changes, but one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to providing first-class service to our members. I see that every day. So thank you for being a member. We're so glad to have you, and we're going to talk about the agenda right now. We're going to talk about the benefits to your LegalShield membership, the legal plans, the covered services with those plans, how to schedule your consultations, and then at the end, if you have any questions that weren't answered, I can certainly help you with those. Again, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being a member of LegalShield. We look forward to talking to you. So let's just get going here. 75% of households experienced at least one problem of significance in the past year, some as many as 40%, five or more. Americans experience millions of civil legal problems every year. It's not a question of if, but when you'll have a problem. So it's good that you're here with us, that we can help you with that. These legal matters most commonly include bread and butter things that can have a big impact on your health and happiness, whether they be government benefits, debt collectors, bankruptcy, any money or income issues, rental issues and evictions, whether mortgage problems, employment, unpaid wages or workplace abuse, relationship breakdowns, such as marriage transitions, child custody and support, domestic abuse, insurance disputes and legal status, clear criminal credit histories, immigration status. Most people don't recognize these situations as legal issues or that they can be helped by access to legal advice. So if you have any of those issues, please don't hesitate to call us and speak to one of our attorneys. Not all legal matters are problems. Some legal issues are good things. Buying a house, renting a new apartment, those are good things. Starting a business, estate planning, those are also things that we can help you with. So please, again, don't hesitate to use your membership. We will be talking about three specific membership plans today. They being the basic membership plan, the advanced membership plan, and the premium membership plan. So to go over the basic membership plan, we will prepare your will, create your power of attorney, representation on traffic tickets, defense for civil trials, advice on consumer disputes, whether it be debt, billing, warranty issues. This plan covers you and your spouse, 24/7 emergency access, 15% discount on additional services, which we'll touch on a little bit later. The document review up to 15 pages on this benefit, 5 hours of pretrial help, and 150 hours of trial time, and we'll go over that as well. Online notarization, 1 per year, and e-signature is unlimited. Now, those two benefits are provided by LegalShield directly, not by the firm. So moving on to the advanced plan, membership plan, that includes all the basic features, annual updates to your will, navigate an uncontested divorce, protect marital assets with a prenuptial agreement or uncontested separation or annulment, uncontested adoption, review and negotiate rental leases as a tenant, reinstate your driver's license, review mortgage documents, collect vehicle property damages. Some additional services, it covers you and your spouse and eligible child dependents. I just want to go over the eligible child dependents with you right now. We'll touch on it a little bit later as well. Eligible child dependents are 25 years of age and under. If the child is 26, they would need to get their own membership. And we'll go in a little bit further with that in the next couple frames. 20% discount on additional services. Your document review is up to 25 pages on this plan. Additional traffic ticket coverage. Your trial defense benefit, 5 hours of pre-trial help and 300 hours of trial time. Online notarization is 5 per year. E-signature is unlimited. Moving to the premium plan, that includes all the advanced features. You can establish a trust, assistance with a simplified probate, defense on death-related traffic charges, and representation during an IRS tax audit. You get 25% discount on additional services with this plan, and the document review jumps to 35 pages. Even more traffic ticket assistance, additional assistance for driver's license reinstatement, expanded vehicle property damage collection, 5 hours of pretrial help and 3 hours of trial time, online notarization and e-signature, both unlimited when you get the premium plan. Now, there are some rules that apply to all the plans, and I do want to go over those with you. First of all, the plan covers your legal issues, not someone else's. So if your nephew is having a problem with his landlord, that is something that is not covered under your benefit. That is something that he would have to have his own plan so that we could discuss it with him. This handles all of your plan, depending on what plan you have, whether it be your spouse and your dependents. That's the coverage allotted there. The plan covers domestic legal issues only. So anything that happens outside of the United States, there are no benefits for. The plan is not to be used to represent yourself in court. So if you're doing some filings, you're going to court on your own, you're handling it pro se, that is something that we cannot further assist you with. Now, if you find that you started it, you're in over your head, or now you want to step back and you want someone else to take it over, you may want to give us a call. If we can retain an attorney for you to further assist you with that under your preferred membership discount, that may be something that we can do. The plan does not cover business-related matters. We get a lot of people that call in on business-related matters for these plans, and it is not included. In LegalShield's eyes, anything that is income producing is considered business. So one good example is if you are a landlord, that is considered business related. There is income from your tenants. Now, with that being said, LegalShield does have supplements and business plans to allow you to have benefits to discuss business-related matters. So what we do is we encourage you to go ahead and call LegalShield, add a supplement or a business plan, and then you can give us a call back and we'd be able to assist you moving forward. So the document review service, 15 pages or less, must be a contracting party. So if you send us a contract and your name's not on that, you're not one of the parties mentioned in there, that is something we would not be able to review for you. Member should keep all originals and send in copies only. We do not want to be responsible for your originals. There are many ways that you can send your documents to us. You can email them, you can fax them. You can send a picture. You can regular mail them to us, but just make sure that you're not sending in original documents. We do not want those in the office. Once the documents are in our office and they're processed, the attorneys have 3 days in which to review them, and then they'll discuss their review. There are some exclusions. Documents in ongoing court proceedings or lawsuits are not covered. Revisions or amendments to the document are not covered. So if you call us and you want us to redline a document, you want us to make changes to that document, that would be something that isn't covered under your basic membership plan. I don't know whether some of those would be covered under a referral attorney, but that would be something you would call in and discuss. LegalShield has a forms portal. If any of these forms are of interest to you, you just put in the state, your state, PA, and you should be able to open those forms up. If you want to peruse them, maybe that'll help you answer some questions about some documents. Feel free to do that. Estate planning services. Basic plan will do your last will and testament, your durable general power of attorney, your physician's directive, and your living will. Now, it has to be your power of attorney. We get calls that someone wants to do a power of attorney over someone. That is something that's not possible. The power of attorney has to be something that you arrange. You're going to give someone your power of attorney. The advanced plan, annual updates to your will. Say, for instance, you bought a house, you had a child, you started a business. You want to change what's in your will. We can do annual updates to your will for you. The premium plan, establish a basic revocable living trust and assistance with the simplified probate. Now, people have asked me, what is a basic revocable living trust? It is primarily an intended benefit to avoid probate. It includes provisions for the payment of taxes, funeral expenses, transfer of personal items, for instance, jewelry, family heirlooms, trusts for children under the age of 21 or with special needs, and direct transfer of assets to persons over the age of 21. So that gives you a basic idea of what that is. But with that, further down, I'll give you another couple ideas which you can use towards that. Fiffik Law Group has an online tool. It is a will and testament packet. If you need that, you give us a call. We'll email it to you. It's fillable. You can get that filled out for us, answer all the questions on there, get it back to us, and we'll start the process of getting your will ultimately completed. Wills and trust. Attorney Kevin Frankel does a will and trust webinar weekly. So if you have any questions about the revocable trust, those kinds of things, it would behoove you to go ahead and watch this webinar, sign up for it. He also does estate planning seminars. They're both free of charge. They're very good if you have any questions. You can sign up for those on our events page, fiffiklaw.com/events. That'll give you a little more information as dates and times when those would be held. Family and domestic services. These are available after 180 days of your membership, but I do want to talk to you about that in a minute. Uncontested name change, uncontested divorce, prenuptial agreement, uncontested separation and annulment, and uncontested adoption for the advanced and premium plan. Now, it does say in your benefits that for those uncontested divorce, uncontested name change, those things. You do have to wait 180 days for your membership for these things to kick in. But what I recommend is that if you are having any of these issues, call us and talk to us about them. Let the attorney discuss it with you. If you do, in fact, have to wait, they'll tell you about that as well. But there might be some things that can be done prior to that. So please don't let that 180 days frighten you away. Give us a call so that we can talk to you about it.
Hey Deb, just one quick thing about waiting the 180 days. That goes by the effective date of their plan. So if there's a lapse in service, it goes by the effective date then. We had that question come up yesterday, actually, yesterday afternoon with a member. So just wanted to reiterate that it has to be 180 consecutive days with no lapse in service. If there's a lapse in your service, then it picks up the new effective date.
Thank you. And that was Noemi Reyes. She is our administrator at the law firm. Thanks, Noemi. Moving to the motor vehicle services, the traffic assistance with moving violations, one per year, $79 fee if required to make a court appearance. So for instance, you received a speeding ticket and you are going to get points. It may affect your insurance and you want to fight the ticket. We could start the process of getting an attorney for you to accompany you to the hearing. There is a $79 fee required that we start that to get that started. You would be responsible for court costs and fines, but we would be responsible for the attorney's fee to handle the issue at the hearing. And that is available after 90 days from the effective date, as Noemi said. The advance plan, reinstate your driver's license, collect vehicle property damage, available after 10 days, 2 per person per year. There are exclusions, and I'll let Noemi explain the camera tickets and parking violations are not included. So Noemi, do you want to explain the camera ticket?
Yes. Towards the end of last year, we had seen an uptick in camera tickets being issued in Pennsylvania. There are some townships, and cities that issue camera tickets for speeding violations. So of course we would assume that it's an infraction on your driver's license and an insurance because it's a speeding ticket. However, there are quite a few counties, like I said, in cities in Pennsylvania that these camera tickets are issued by the administrative offices of the city. So the city of Philadelphia, Salem, they issue these camera tickets and they have no adverse impact on your driver's license or your insurance. So they're not covered under the plan. Even though it is a speeding ticket and it's a camera card, they're not covered. So it sort of throws people off and it's unclear when they get them. But the best thing to do is always call us, have that conversation with the attorney, and we'll be able to let you know if it's a covered benefit or not. That's what I have, Deb.
Okay, thanks, Noemi. Trial defense services. Defense for civil trials, subject to the hour accumulated when the member or spouse is named as a defendant in a civil action. Premium plan, defense on death-related traffic charges. There are exclusions. Pre-existing, the membership is considered no benefits there, and business related, there are no benefits for trial defense services. Now, I want to go over trial defense services a little bit because there is sometimes a confusion there when people hear about accumulated hours. They think that those hours can be used for just about anything. Those hours are used if you are being sued. If you are being sued, what we ask for is for you to send us in the complaint that you received from the court so that we could review it. Once it's reviewed, then it will be, we will let you know if that falls under the trial defense service where the hours, the accumulated hours will be used. But that is if you are being sued. So you would get that criminal complaint. And I just wanted to give you a couple examples to make it a little bit clearer. One example, a company sues you alleging that you owe money. You are able to provide bank statements, cancel checks, receipts, etc., showing that you have paid and you don't owe them anything. That would be one example. You have all the documentation needed to defend your case. Another example, a neighbor sues alleging that you caused damage to their property on a particular date, but you as a member are able to provide evidence that you weren't even home. You were in a hotel, you have receipts, you have photos, you were out of town. That would be another issue where you could defend that. So those are just some examples of what would happen and what we need if you're going to use your trial defense service. Now, we also talked about, and I said that we would review this when we talked earlier. These are the discounted rates for the standard hourly rate for personal legal services that are not otherwise provided by the contract. So let me explain that a little bit. So you called us on an issue that you're having. You spoke with the attorney. The attorney possibly reviewed documents, did a letter for you with no response. That didn't get any response. You want to take this further. So that would be something then that we would find an attorney for you in your area that handles that area of law. Now, you would have to pay a retainer, but you would get the discounted rate depending on what the plan is. So your basic plan, you would get 15% discount off the attorney's hourly rate. The advanced is 20%, and the premium is 25% discount off that attorney's hourly rate. Now, that's not available on contingency fees or flat fee arrangements because those are already somewhat discounted for you. But that's where these would kick in if you need further assistance on an issue. Getting to the nitty-gritty now. How to initiate a request for service. This is the most important, I think, because you need to know how to call when you have an issue. Call Fiffik Law Group at the 412-391-7339 number. Fill out a contact form on our website at fiffiklaw.com/legalshield-member-consult-request or use the LegalShield app or website portal. What we need, excuse me, we need as much information as you can give us. Your first, especially if you're not calling in, your first and last name, your LegalShield ID number, your contact information, summary of your legal matter. What is the legal issue? Names of other parties or others involved, and relevant documents. Now, the other parties or party or others involved is so important because we cannot move the file forward without getting all of that information. And why we need it is we do a conflict check, an internal conflict check. We do not call them. We do not try to get a hold of them in any way. We just need to make sure that we have not spoken to them, that they're not LegalShield members. That's why we need all involved in the issue. Now, if we find, when you give us the other parties' names, that it is a conflict, it doesn't affect you at all. You still get all of your benefits. We just handle it a little bit differently internally, but you'll still get to talk to an attorney. You'll still get to discuss your issue. But that is why we need all of that information. Our service standards, the initial call within 4 business hours. Document review once they're in our office and process, 3 business days. Letters, 3 business days. Wills, once the draft is okay, 5 business days. Referral, 3 business days. And research, 3 business days. Some helpful hints that I want to go over with you. Add our phone number to your contact list so you don't ignore or don't an unknown call. Put it in as LegalShield, put it in as Fiffik Law Group, so that if you see that come up, you will take that call. Check your junk mail in case our emails got stuck there, especially if you're waiting on something. I do get calls where people are waiting for their wills or waiting for a letter. They haven't received it. We go through their junk mail and their spam, and lo and behold, a lot of the times that's where it is. Why it goes there, I don't know. But check there first. Obviously, if it isn't there, give us a call back and we'll certainly get those resent to you. Check and respond to your text messages. If we need you, say for instance, you filled out a form to get a file opened and there wasn't the information that we needed in there, we're going to respond to you. We're going to try and get that information just as soon as possible. We're going to do phone calls, we'll do a text, we may email, respond to those so that we can move it forward. Those are delays that happen when we're trying to get a file to an attorney. If all the necessary information isn't in that file, we cannot process it. So make sure you respond so that we can, obviously, we want to assist you just as fast as possible. Send and complete all requested information to avoid unnecessary back and forth. Avoid missing or rescheduling phone meetings. If you have a phone meeting with the attorney, very important that you're available at that time. The attorney allots time in their schedule to do that meeting. Now, life happens, we know that. If you have to reschedule a phone appointment or a phone meeting, we just ask that you do it as soon as possible to allow the attorney to possibly talk to someone else, and we want to reschedule that for you. Now, these are pretty much out of date now that we're at 2025, but I do have one update for you. If I can find it right here. So we'll just discuss that. Last year and the beginning of this year, you can see the difference. Calls received for 2023, this is just 5 months. So 21,000. Requests for services, 25,000, 5 months as opposed to the whole year. Document review for 5 months. I know we're over 40,000 for the year. I don't have the exact figure in front of me. I did have it. I don't know where. Oh, here it is, 41,176 for the total year of 2024. Letters prepared, almost double, more than double, almost tripled. And I do want to talk to you a little bit about our letters. Some people want to know, does a letter do any good to the other party? What if they just ignore it? I see success stories from letters every day. I do want to review one with you. I think you'll enjoy this one. Member moved from her apartment and the landlord deducted $599 from her security deposit, claiming that he had to do excess cleaning and painting. Member said she left the apartment completely clean and any need to paint was from normal wear and tear. Well, our attorney did a demand letter returning the full refund of $1,600 from the deposit and cautioning the landlord that the member would sue for double the deposit if it was not returned within 10 days. The attorney pointed out to the landlord that the member had photos and is quite credible as a witness as to how she left that apartment. The landlord's initial response was to claim his deductions were justified. But a day or two later, he changed his mind and agreed to return the full deposit, $1,650 for the member. Member was very pleased, and that was done with one letter. And it happens all the time. So success stories are another thing that I'd like to bring to your attention. If you call us and you talk to an attorney that's, for instance, they do a call, they do a letter, and it's a successful end to your issue, please call us and let us know about that. We make a big deal about it at the law firm. Those get sent directly to LegalShield. They make a big deal about it. So please let us know if something's been successful for you. Same with praises. If you talk to someone at the law firm, whether it be an attorney, an administrator, the referral department, one of our customer service representatives, please let us know that we, again, make a big deal about that at the law firm. It's really good to hear about the successes that we have. Also, the Google reviews. We can't ask you enough for Google reviews. If you have a very successful experience with us, please share. Please let us know by giving us a nice Google review. And here are some excellent examples. Fast, efficient, friendly, and cost-effective. Thank you. They listened to me, empathized with my situation, and were very helpful. Excellent LegalShield provider firm, very efficient and fast. Communication was stellar. I have always gotten the help needed from this firm. This is a great service, and I have told many friends about it. I had a very good experience with LegalShield on various occasions and situations. I am so glad I have legal services on a retainer. So I'm hoping that this has helped you, maybe answered some of your questions. I will take some questions from you now.